What's going on, guys? Welcome back. When you see market rallying off like this during the overnight, this is usually the first sign that it's going to be an uptrend day. It turned out to be quite a decent trend up, but not the one you would like. There weren't particularly that many setups, and it got a little bit choppy at the top. So not my favorite kind of day, but there are still nevertheless every day if you're a price action trader you can find a piece of a cake for you. You can find some setups that you can make your money. Because at the end of the day, we don't move this market. We're just following the big players, the institutions that know where the market is going to go because they're the ones who do it. But we're just following them. Nevertheless, so you can draw this trend line from the first few lows from the bottom, or you can draw them from the top. And we get a little bit break here, move to new high, even though it's not exactly new high, so I was still looking for new high. And then we have this correction, we spiked through the EMA. This looked very, reversal like. This is normally what the reversals look like when they shot through EMA like it's not even there. Then pull back, break, and big spike to a new low. This is very steep. So at this point, the correction played out. The trend line we're working lower. You got a break and a new low. Now I wasn't thinking long yet at this time particularly, but when we move up through the EMA and pull back like this was the sign that the bears right here ended. There is no trend lower. The trend lower played out, and I was actually thinking then there might be some trend line like this. So we have a first entry short here, pull back, spike to the EMA, a second entry short that failed technically, even though it's enough for the scalp. You can treat it as a failure because prices should have went lower. I don't think you want to go long here yet because it's still undecided where the market is going to go, whether lower or higher. But when you make this higher low here, I drew this trend line and I actually went long here. I thought I was gonna get trapped, even though I kind of like this trade, the way this bar ended. But the way this bar ended, nicely fitting into the trend line, yeah, this was a good entry to go long too, because this is a new lower high. First entry short, second entry short that failed. I was already in here, and I don't like adding on that much. So this was a good failed second entry short that you could have taken. Although looking at this, at this point you're kind of getting a little bit, congested like. And by the way, at that time I didn't have these lines there. I was just playing the uptrend line like this because the correction lower played out already. So I was thinking going long here. It was first good scalp, and then let me turn down like here. This is what I draw. This is what I would draw. And this is when I actually went short here. I wouldn't recommend you to take this. This was just kind of my gut feel because prices pulled back through EMA and EMA held, and I was thinking we're gonna go lower. So you don't want to take this. I just marked it because I took it. So I kind of want to show you guys how a lot of times you can trade even solely based on your gut feeling. So this was my gut feeling. I was really liking this trade. For some reason, I was really feeling this trade, even though this is just first entry long this failed. The correct way to play this as a seasoned price action trader is to wait for this break of the short-term trend line and move to a new low. And you can clearly see that the prices are bottoming out. There is some support forming. You got to break new low. Some way like here, break new low. Price action rules work once again. This was a better entry to go long. And then we kind of like chopped up higher. I really didn't see any setup here. When you look at this is kind of it is a semi bullish bar, but you're far away from EMA, and then you move and you got this horrible signal bar. This is way too big, you don't want to go long at the very high of the day. And once again, this probably would be a good setup, because at this point you could have drawn a trend line here, but you're still so far away from EMA, even though on a days like this, when it's really, the bars are very small and they're looking like it's chopping higher. This is what gets a lot of people. They're trying to short this because this looks like it's gonna reverse any minute. This looks like, because it's barely chopping up higher, but every time it traps the bears, it just reverses up on them and rallies up. But still, I didn't like this because you're not even back to EMA. But looking at back, first entry, second entry, you probably could have taken this. It's according to rules, it's off the trend line. But I don't like the setups where you're far away from EMA. A lot of times you get trapped. A lot of times you get a perfect second entry that will just trap you because you're not back to the EMA. So, and this is where I went long here. I played because I was looking at this trend line and I expected a new high. Even though what I think had happened is we already make a new high of this previous move higher. This was the first leg up. Let me see. Let me show it to you guys. This was the first move up, and you went sideways into correction. Bulls needed to trap a lot more bears, and then the second leg up. So this was the first legged move, pull back correction, second legged move on a higher picture. But I tried to go long here. I just barely didn't get, my scalp. So I re-entered here, and it worked here. So I got my 10 ticks here. But this wasn't ideal by any means. The fact that we failed here, this was, this was the sign for you that clearly we're not going to retest the low. This is a break, new low, and when you felt like this, then you know that, you have to. This is the perfect example where you have to trade the market you get, not the market you want. And even though it worked in my favor here, because we are just scalpers, I kind of traded the market that I wanted, not the market that I, is presented to me. And this is, you guys are getting, first class, really inside my mind how I trade. Because even somebody like me, you can see that I still can get into the thinking, I want to trade the market I want. I really should have stayed on the sidelines here. You don't want to trade this sideways mess. So you want to trade on the side, you want to stand on the sidelines. Prices broke below this support. You could have taken this. Looking back, yeah, this was a good entry because most breakouts out of trading range failed. And first entry long, second entry long, first entry short, second entry short that failed. This was a good entry to go long as well. I don't know why it didn't market. I didn't take these trades because I was already done here. I made a lot of money here, but looking back now, these are really good trades. But then you have this trend line. At this point, you're probably thinking that this trend up will resume because the bears, they failed going lower. It might look like it's going to resume and we're going to make higher highs. But now you got to pay this as a trading range. You got to play this as a trading range, and you got to break new high, and the resistance holds once again. So at this point, clearly this is a small little trading range. And you got the first entry short, second entry short. I don't think you want to go short yet. You're not high enough to this resistance. But when you make one tick above this bar and trap all the bulls and then turn back lower, yeah, you want to go long. You want to go short here. And when you make first entry, second entry long that fails, this is another great trade because this looks fairly fairly bullish, and a lot of bulls got trapped here. But they don't realize that they're not even close being, they're not close enough to this support. This is, you cannot, your body needs to be close. The body of the signal bar you're entering has to be close. The wick, the stem is not enough. So this is basically, it's not even touching, because all you need to be thinking is the bodies, whether the bodies are touching, not the wicks. And then got a little bit late. I don't trade the later session, so but you clearly can see that prices broke through the trading range, pulled back, made a big bearish bar, and then shut down lower. But I don't think you want to enter this. Oh, this is too big. As you can, how big is this? 3383, 3383. Yeah, this is almost 4 point bar, so there's no way you want to enter this. And you can't even stack in with the limit order here. So yeah, so this was kind of slow and choppy day. I got a little bit tripped out here because I really thought we're gonna go much higher. But when the market is starting to range like this and starting to be choppy like this, you really need to switch to the range rules. And once again, in my opinion, the session earlier, right before the open and right after the open, is much more clearer. So yeah, that's gonna be it for the day. And hopefully you had a great day today. Keep studying as always. You want to go back every single day, just like I do. You want to mark the chart, and you just don't want to watch my videos. You also want to watch my videos, and you want to go back to your software and draw these lines to kind of pretend like you're trading in real time. That's what's gonna really help you. You just don't want to watch my videos. You also want to go back, draw it like I draw it, and then kind of be, telling to yourself like, what was I thinking when this bar formed, and what was I thinking here, and kind of going back to that thinking process. This is what really gonna help you. So anyway, I'm gonna wrap up the video. Have a safe trading, and I see you guys on Wednesday. Bye.